Welcome to Cheers. Hi, Spencer.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm obsessed with you already because you came in cozy.
Yeah.
And one thing about me, I'm not dressing up.
Same. I mean, we got too much on our plate.
Yeah, there's
You know
too
what I
much
mean?
going
Who's got time
on.
for that?
Also, you're so gorgeous. It's beyond.
Thank you.
You know, when you watch, well, I mean, you understand this because you have such like high quality but relaxing ASMR style content, but you never know with creators like that what kind of filters are going on.
Yeah.
You're even more gorgeous in person.
Thank you.
I hope you know that.
I needed to hear that today of all days, so thank you for that.
No,
That's really
truly, because you just never know what who's gonna walk in when it comes to that type of video.
Yeah.
But you're so immensely talented at what you do. But when you meet someone for the first time, how do you describe yourself and what you do for a living?
Well, first and foremost, I kind of consider myself, well, not kind of, I am a makeup artist, but really I'm a makeup educator now. It's something I really leaned into over the last 4 or 5 years of my career is educating and getting the viewers, because that's primarily where most of my education takes place is online, getting them familiar with how to use products and apply it on themselves and just see themselves for the beauty that they have.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Originally Florida.
Florida.
Okay, so I moved to LA. It's tricky because I don't know at what point do you say like you're from California.
Yeah.
I've been here for 16 years.
Okay.
I moved here when I was 16, actually, as well. And I love it. I got out of home. I got my GED and I said, peace, I'm out of here.
Where in Florida are you from?
Tampa Bay.
Okay, so we vacation in Destin every year
Nice,
with
nice.
our good friends. I'm not familiar with Tampa, but I know a lot of people from Tampa.
Yeah, you're not missing out on much, to be honest. Like, if you're going to go to Florida, like, go south, down to Miami, even Orlando's kind of up and coming. If you're going to go to Tampa, forget Tampa Bay. I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers to some people listening and watching, but Tampa Bay, maybe skip out on that. Go over to St. Pete.
Oh, okay.
That's where it's at. It's super cute, quaint, a nice little town on the water. They have this hotel there called the Vinoy. It's really chic, and it's just it's a good vibe over there.
Okay, love.
Yeah.
What brought you to LA at 16?
I wanted to be in entertainment somehow. So I don't know really what that looked like at that age. I was just trying to figure out, life at 16. I mean, my beard is growing in. That's the biggest concern. I'm like, what is this? But at 16, I really knew I wanted to be in entertainment. I wanted to be on my own and spread my wings and figure life out. And so at 14, I had started becoming homeschooled with the intentions of obtaining my GED, graduating early, and then heading out into LA.
And you came here by yourself?
I did, yeah.
Who'd you live with?
By myself.
What were you?
Well, no, I shouldn't say that. When I first moved here, I did have a roommate, but it was no one that I had known. It was just we shared a little, it wasn't even a studio. It was an efficiency. So it's not even like a studio. At least you kind of have your own separate kitchen and area. An efficiency, it barely fit my left butt cheek. I mean, it was so tiny, and there was 2 of us in there, but it was the best time of my life.
Really?
It was the best time, yes.
I think when I look back to what I thought at that time was such a hard time of my life, sometimes I'm like, I would give anything to go back because it's such a simple time of your life. Like my husband and I always talk about how in the early days of our relationship and marriage, we struggled so much, but like we didn't need a lot to be happy. And that's such a freeing thing. And even though success is amazing and you live such a privileged life, the simple things are always the things that matter most. And I love thinking about that time.
Do you feel like now as we've gotten older and we have more on our plate and responsibilities, like, touching bases on what you were just, talking about as, things were simpler when we were younger, like now for me, I find, and it's kind of like unavoidable, I just have more fears now than I ever did.
Always.
Like at the time we had nothing to lose. Like what was the worst that could happen? I'd end up on the streets. And at the time I was so I'm very lucky and privileged to say that if it got to that point, my parents would not let that happen. They would say, Spence, come on back home. But that was worst case scenario, and that's not that bad. Now it's like kids,
yes,
you got the house, you got a mortgage, you got X, Y, and Z, and just trying to keep up with life.
Yeah, and then when you are a provider too for your family, your child, it's different because you don't do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
You do it for them. And that feels like it's everything to lose.
Of course.
You know? So what kind of jobs were you working at 16 in LA?
Goodness, everything. Well, so before I had moved out to LA, I had already been working. While I was going through the homeschooling program, I was also like a part-time assistant to a Mary Kay consultant. I had worked at UPS and I worked in a call center. So I was booked and busy. When I moved out to LA, I ended up becoming a very part-time assistant to a family friend who worked in the furniture business, if I remember correctly. And I kind of just helped operate the sales and everything. And then for many years, many years, I had worked front desk at a medical office. And that was one of the most pivotal times of my life. And it was funny because I was just talking to some girlfriends about this at dinner the other night, because they had known me when I was already kind of blowing up on social media, so to speak. I had already kind of gained some success as a makeup artist, and I was living a double life for the longest time. And only my closest friends and family, had known that while I was still doing master classes and building my social media presence, and at that time I had really probably just started making 7 figures a year. Like that was like at the beginning of my big career. And I was still working part-time at this medical office front desk. And people were always like, why in the world are you doing that? You didn't need to. But it grounded me. It kept me humble. And I've lost money so much. So I've been broke, and then I had a little money, broke again. I've never been good with money. And I know my personality trait. So when I started making money and gaining success, the people whom I worked for at that medical office, which were they're from China, they're very traditional Chinese. They kept me extremely grounded, and it taught me discipline a lot, and I needed that at that time in my career.
Yeah.
So
I resonate a lot with that because I was a full-time pediatric ICU nurse.
Right.
And so my social media was blowing up, and I had, I think, like 1.5 million followers on TikTok, still working full-time in the ICU. And I signed with my team, and everyone that I worked with was like, dude, why are you here? And I'm like, well, my entire life I wanted to be a nurse. Like, this was not something that I expected to do, but also I feel extremely grateful to have seen real life experiences and like worked really hard jobs and had a really hard career, because it does put our life into perspective. It makes you feel so grateful for everything you have. And I've talked about this so many times, but my friend Jackie Aina, who also is another beauty creator,
Jackie.
love her. She's the best.
I'm her like her biggest
Yes, fan. She's the greatest. Yeah. And we sat down on the podcast, and she was talking about how people that come from that type of life have a different work ethic in this industry, and it's just true. You have a different perspective, you work harder, and you're humble and you're grateful. Not everyone's humble in this industry, that's for sure, but you are very grateful. And there's days where sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to film that ad, and I'm like, bitch, get your ass up. You used to work 12.5-hour shifts, pregnant during the pandemic. Like, you can film an ad for a foundation or whatever it is, you know?
1000%.
And so I feel very grateful for that. When did beauty and makeup come into your life?
I suppose when I was young-ish, probably around 6 or 7. I had always enjoyed doing my mom's makeup and my sister's makeup, and I don't know if they enjoyed it. I mean, they got burnt a couple times with a curling iron, and let's not even talk about the time I'd bring out the eyelash curler. But it's something I always enjoyed doing, but I never thought I could make a career out of it. You see, like back then, all we kind of knew, especially in Florida and like that, all we kind of knew of a makeup artist is someone who works behind a counter in a mall, selling and promoting product. Gosh, now that I say that out loud, I guess it's not far off from what we do now.
It's true. It's true.
But at the time, I was such a nervous, I don't know if nervous is the right word, but I was very shy, introverted as a child. So for someone to think, Spence working behind a counter, approaching strangers, forget it. Like, because I would never, you know, I'm a different person now. And so I never gave second thoughts to even becoming a makeup artist. It wasn't until I lived out in California and I realized, like, oh, there's an industry for this. Like, people get paid to do someone's makeup. I mean, okay. And I remember the first time someone offered me money to do their makeup, I said, wow. okay, I feel like this is too good to be true.
Yeah. So did you start making money when it came to the makeup industry by doing people's glam?
I did, yes. So I was primarily, I offered that service. I would do a lot of house calls, and then from there it ended up to me kind of just building this repertoire of clients that worked on camera, and I would do a lot of print work and go to their shoots and do makeup for music videos and all kinds of things. So,
And then tell me about when social media came along.
well, social media. You see, social media came along actually in the very beginning, but I wasn't making or monetizing off of it, making any money or nothing. I was just doing it because at the time I was working a job where my coworker was like, because I was always enjoy doing their makeup, and she says, "Why don't you post about it on Instagram?" I was like, "Instagram? What is that? Like, what is this nonsense? Let me see."
Like when the sepia filter was there?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And there was no videos or reels or nothing. You take a picture and you post it. And so I don't know about all this. And she was like, just do it. So I did it. And at the time, I would post a lot of befores and afters. And that caught a lot of buzz very quickly. And my social media grew very fast from that. Like that was during a time, I mean, it was very different than now. I'd imagine it was similar to what TikTok was at the beginning.
Yes,
You know
I
what
agree.
I mean? And yeah, one thing after another happened, and I realized that my bread and butter was in befores and afters. And of course, I would tag all the brands or mention them, and it raised some eyebrows and got people paying attention on that side of the industry.
And then what was the pivotal moment where you were like, okay, I could do social media full time?
I'd say about 5 or 6 years ago, right before I started my YouTube channel, when I started YouTube long form content of these tutorials, I realized, okay, I've been doing it. I could do this full time. I didn't actually do this full time until maybe 2 years ago. Up until 2 years ago, I was still working at the acupuncture clinic. It was,
2 years ago? What?
a lot. I've never even said that, but
That's
yeah.
crazy.
And if they need someone calls in or whatever, they need someone at the front desk or in the back changing out table paper, whatever, I'm there. Like that. Those people are like my family.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And it taught me a lot of discipline and still keeps me grounded. And I find that I just love, and it kind of aligns with being a makeup artist. I just love serving people. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally.
It would have to make sense for you because you have to be there for people. You get it.
Yes, I had a very hard time when I first left nursing because I felt like I wasn't contributing to society in a positive way. And people argue and say like, well, you bring joy to us through your content, and I appreciate that, but I knew I made a physical difference in people's lives and for these kids. And I always felt like it was my calling. And so that was a really hard decision for me. But it was my manager that, gave me the push and was like, you always have a place to come back, but you never know if you don't try. And I'm so grateful for that. Like your friend saying, like, post on Instagram.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need that outside perspective to give you that little push. And it totally changes your life. Do you think you waited so long to leave because of the stability, or just because it felt like a leap, or what was keeping you from fully committing to doing only social media?
It wasn't the financial stability, because up until I was even working in that medical office, I was financially stable. It was just I really liked the discipline that it gave me. And I wear so many different hats with what I do in social media that it gave me an escape from the world I kind of live in. And you get it too. Like you go to events and like there is this glamorous factor, this glamorous filter that a lot of people see this through. And it allowed me to, kind of stay grounded. I keep on going back to that because that's really what it was. It didn't get me caught up in the bad things. It kept me out of trouble. It kept me around the right people. And, but what really made me decide that, hey, I got to go my separate ways, it was having my family, having a child. And now she has and deserves my 100%, my utmost attention.
Let's talk about her.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, the videos where she'll like help you with your makeup, send me, because that's my daughter. Like she goes through my PR cabinets and like stocks her little drawers with, her clear lip gloss and blush and all the things.
How old is she?
She's 5.
Oh my gosh, that's such a fun age.
It's such a fun age. I feel like 18 months for a little girl on is just like more and more magical. I mean, I have a boy and a girl, so it's magical in different ways. Like I was such a tomboy growing up, so with my son, like I love roller skating and playing sports, and I get like that roughhouse side with him. But with my daughter, I also love beauty and glam and fashion, and so I get that. So it's kind of best of both worlds. But did you always know you wanted to be a father?
Always, always. I'd say from the age of 13 on.
Yeah.
My youngest sister was born when I was 13.
Oh, okay.
So the day I held her, when she was born, I just felt like this very paternal instinct, and I'm like, I need to become a father. And I think that's what also kind of gave me the fire underneath my tush to do something in my life at a young age of 16, is because I knew I had always seen myself, I like a plan, you know? My plan was always to be a single father. And I knew that road to get there is a little tricky. And so I needed to make something of myself to have a child at a young age. And yeah.
How come you knew you wanted to be a single father specifically?
I'm sure a psychiatrist will tell me that it has something to do with my parents, you know, going their separate ways when I was young. Okay. They divorced when I was very young, and it was a messy divorce. And I just never felt the craving of being with someone or being in a relationship. I don't know. It's just something I always envisioned, is raising a child on my own and raising that child with just so much love and attention, and making that child feel safe, and just giving them an opportunity to grow into their own person.
Yeah. For those that maybe are interested in exploring that type of journey, can you kind of walk us through what the IVF surrogacy journey was like for you in order to become a father?
Sure. I mean, for me, I do want to say to, you know, your listeners and viewers that the journey looks different for everybody. It does. But my journey specifically, I got very, very lucky, and I'm very privileged to say that for years now, I had been talking with my sister-in-law about being my gestational carrier, or surrogate to make it, you know, easier, to be my surrogate. We had always talked about it for the last, 10 years. And when I felt like I was ready, we both decided, okay, let's do it. I had an egg donor, and through IVF, we created the embryo, and it took a little bit of work to have for it to carry to term, but I got a good one. You know, my little daughter Celine, she's perfect. And so to answer your question, yes, I had an egg donor, I had the surrogate, and it was a long process. She lives in Florida, so I was going back and forth a lot because the IVF clinics were there, and we did it in the same way you would do it as if you had gone through an agency to have a surrogate. You know, we had to go through the psych, evaluations and the insurance and the escrows and everything. And it was a stressful process, but to make it make sense, like, it was the most exciting part of my life, because I was one step closer every day of, my dream becoming fulfilled. Like, it was a really special experience. And then to be doing it with my family, like my sister-in-law, my brother, he was just so supportive, and giving her the shots, every day. And we're very, very, very close.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know a lot of people that are exploring surrogacy, and that's the hardest part, is finding someone to be able to carry your baby or affording it. That's another thing too. It's so expensive. But the fact that your sister-in-law did that for you, what a special thing. Like, what a selfless, incredible thing. Because I've been through pregnancies and childbirth. That shit is not easy, but that just shows who you are, and them knowing what an incredible father you are going to be, that she did that for you. I just think it's so special.
Thank you. I agree. It was not just like the biggest compliment, but it was the biggest gift to be able to have someone carry your child who you completely trust. I honestly, thinking about it, if I had to go a different direction and hire, a surrogate whom I didn't know, I don't care, like, how much, how reputable the agency is, how much you're paying, just having that trust.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Especially living far apart.
Yes.
Too. Like, you're not seeing them every single day, knowing what they're doing every day. So that's a very...
And the energy around the household, too.
Yes.
You know, I think that had a lot to do with it. And I completely trusted her. She had been pregnant before then 5 times. Like, she loves being preggers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Queen.
And so that household is booked and busy, a lot of kids running around, and it's just good energy. And I never for a second had to worry. And I don't know if I could say that if it was anybody else.
Yeah.
So for that alone, just such a great gift.
So with her being in Florida, did she give birth there and then you went to grab Celine and come back?
So I ended up, purchasing the house next door when I went on the market.
Oh.
Yep. And I had been traveling there so often. And then also, too, like, I wanted to be close to my family. And at the time, like, it was such a great gift that she was giving me and she was doing for me. I just felt like I wanted to be there and support. And we know, like, it's not her child. She knows that, you know, I part ways and the plan was always to come back to California. But your mind says one thing, your body says another. And I just I never knew how things were going to work out. Of course, she knows that, again, it's my child, but you just carried a human being in your body for 9 months, you know, and how do you process that? Like, again, your heart says one thing, your mind says another. So I wanted to be close by. And
that's amazing. Tell me about seeing Celine for the first time when she was born.
It's a little bit of a blur. It was a long delivery. I hadn't slept for like 18 hours or 20 hours, as if I had to go through all the work. Oh, poor me.
Hey, at least you were up.
Yeah.
At least you were up.
But it was really special, and it was a surreal moment. And I remember seeing her, and I mean, you know, like
it's like an oxytocin release like none other. It's like you're high on life. It's the greatest experience ever.
And I remember thinking, because I was preparing for, like, when I would see the whole delivery, I'm like, oh, this is gonna look like a crime scene. But I remember seeing her, I'm like, oh my gosh, she is so beautiful. And I'm sorry, most kids, all babies, now looking back at photos, I'm like, she looked like an alien, okay? But in the moment, I was like, she's so beautiful.
Yeah, she's perfect because she's yours, of course.
And I remember and she was so calm. She wasn't crying. She was just like so calm and just kind of like blinking and looking at me. Not that she can really see anything, you know, you know, when you're... And yeah, it was really special.
I love that.
And I got to experience it with my brother right there. And of course, you know, my sister-in-law, Jessica, and it was just the 3 of us. And of course, all the nurses as well. You know what's funny? You know, in the moment, all these nurses rush in, right? Right, you're about to give delivery. One of the nurses, I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And there's just like all this energy. And this nurse is like, I just want to let you know, I'm a huge fan. I love you. And I'm like, thank you. 1, 2, not now. Now it's not a great time.
Yes.
Like, I'm about to experience the most special moment of my life. And like, you want a selfie?
Boundaries, babe. Boundaries, babe. Okay, love this. What is your favorite thing about fatherhood so far?
I just love seeing her kind of come into her own person and explore things. And she's just becoming this confident little girl. And selfishly, I love that she feels safe. Like, I can tell she is truly happy and she feels safe because it makes me feel like I'm doing something right. But I also, for her, I just love seeing her happy and explore new things. And we went out to this farm over the weekend, and just her getting to play with the goats and you know, ride on this little bumblebee tractor. It's like, at that age, we forget everything is bigger than life.
Yeah.
And
it's the little, like, magical moments.
Yeah.
But it makes you... I'm a very on-the-go, like, in a hurry person. And I think motherhood has really taught me to slow down and embrace the small moments, especially with our industry. It's forever evolving and changing, and so we're always on to the next. But I think my kids forced me to slow down, which is kind of beautiful.
And to that point, I think I agree with that for sure, and just becoming more present.
Yes.
Right? I've had to remind myself a couple times that, like, Spence, put your phone down.
Yep.
Put the laptop away. Like, go play blocks with your kid.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Go
Totally.
watch whatever on the TV with your kid. And
Yep.
So, yeah, work can wait, you know?
Yes. How are you managing and balancing single fatherhood so well?
I'm thriving.
I know, but
I'm thriving.
But you also run an extremely successful
Yeah.
business, and being a working parent, especially a single working parent, is very hard. So, give me your tips.
You know, At this stage in my life, I'm not chasing a paycheck. I'm not chasing a follower. I don't care about my following count or like count or whatever. Honestly, nowadays it's kind of plummeting, with the algorithm.
I feel like everyone is on the same boat though, so we're all we're
I
still
give up.
yeah.
The ship has sailed and sunk.
It's
I'm like,
sailed.
forget it. I
Yep.
mean, whoever wants to watch me can watch me, and those are the people I want around anyway.
Yeah, totally.
But at this point in my life, it's really about wanting to build a legacy and build out something that I can pass down to my baby, and my grandbabies and my great grandbabies, and that's what I'm thinking about right now. And
I love that.
I don't know how my current career fits into that, but all I know is that I want to build out something that she's going to be proud of. And that was going back to what I was saying earlier. I've always been about a plan, and I've always wanted to have my own family first, have a child before I really built out a brand and a business. Because I need her to see the blood, sweat, and tears I put into this. You're not going to be no nepo baby, not on my watch.
Totally.
Okay, you need to see what I'm putting into this, and because I'm not just passing down, a check on a silver spoon for you.
Totally.
So
I agree. We tell our kids the same thing. Like they earn their allowance. We tell them, their life is very privileged, and it's hard though. Like we live in the same area. Mm-hmm. That is the majority of kids around there though.
Yeah.
So I've learned once my kids went to school that those are hard conversations. Mm-hmm. Why does this kid have this? Why do we have to do this? Why do we have chores and responsibilities? And I'm like, well, that's what you do. You raise a hardworking kid, because a lot of those kids graduate high school and they don't know what they're doing, or they don't have the work ethic or the drive because they know it's handed to them.
Right.
And
I think that comes down to like what the home base is. For us, our homes. What are the morals and the ethics that we kind of instill in our children. And, when they go out into the real world, like school, I mean, it's no different than at our age, right? I find myself comparing myself to Jeff Bezos. Why is that guy a billionaire? Okay. Like, if I knew I could have like wrapped up some things in a box and shipped it to someone's doorstep, I would have done it a long time ago. Yeah. Why not me?
Yeah.
But that's life.
Totally. Were there any like OG beauty gurus that you loved watching as you were growing, or that inspired you?
It wasn't necessarily gurus like on social media, because when I was really learning and training to do makeup, I was studying the greats. We're talking about Kevin Aquan and Sam Fine, and all the amazing artists that are from the past and currently still with us. I mean, there's just so many artists, even Mario now, and Etienne Ortega. Anyways, so that's who really I was looking up to and just kind of keeping a close eye on and finding that their techniques were working for me and my clients.
I feel like the beauty industry, especially on social media, is forever evolving. There's always a new trend or new thing to try. How do you stay true to your techniques and what you believe in?
My techniques, I don't find that they just came about last week because they were pushed through an algorithm, or again, a trend. These are techniques that are tried and true that I've used on clients, for years. And I think a lot of times as viewers, we forget that because something's trending, it's not going to work for us. It looks great on someone who does their makeup every single day and who is in front of 20 lights and possibly a filter and, in front of their phone saying that, this is amazing. You got to try it. And they're serving an algorithm, But it's different as a working makeup artist, truly a working makeup artist, because like a lot of the beauty influencers, only a handful of them come from a working background as an artist or are currently working. And that's why I do currently work, is that is the best training I have to keep my skill sets and tools sharp, so to speak. I like working on other people, on other, skin concerns and textures and shades and goals, So that's something to keep in mind, is that when you watch these trends,
Yeah, it's true. And it's crazy how many people still will do makeup tutorials with a beauty filter, because you do show real texture and real skin, and it's important, because I can't tell you how many products I have purchased from watching someone's tutorial, and I get it in the mail and I try it and I'm like, this looks so bad on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just depends. It depends on who you are and what your skin type is like. And I just love how much you experiment, but also are authentic.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you. And I think that's okay too if a trend doesn't work. And I always remind people, like, it's okay if a product doesn't work for you, you know? And it kind of goes back to like how I feel sometimes with brands and their marketing. Like, oof, this is a whole other episode, girl. Because the gag is these brands they get a little too comfortable in their marketing meetings, and they really stretch the truth. These campaigns that some brands run nowadays, it sends the message that you have to run out and buy this. Like, we've really kind of adjusted our mindset to serving this algorithm that you have to run out and buy something, or else you're gonna have what is it, FOMO? Yeah, fear of missing out, right? And I hate that because, listen, our dollar can only be stretched so far nowadays, let me tell you. And when you're working and hustling and you have this money and you're going to spend your hard-earned money on something that you're promised will work for you, and it doesn't, I don't know, it's just not a good feeling. Not just as a creator and a makeup artist saying this, but as an actual consumer. And I wish brands saw that it does more harm than good, because now the consumer loses trust in that brand. And I think you might be able to give some insight as well, working on this side of the business, and we're promoting products and such. When we get these creative briefs from brands and they're so adamant on using these buzzwords and handing us the same creative brief that they're giving 20 other people, it's just like, listen, this ain't working, all right? There's like this machine that this company wanted me to promote. They had just released it, a week ago, and I said, listen, I'm not going to get results from this machine in a week, all right? I need at least 6 months to try this out if you want me to claim that it lifts the face. And by the way, I just had a facelift, 4 months ago. So I don't even think I'm the right candidate to talk about this.
Yeah. And also, it's because we're being authentic.
Right.
And I've told brands that, I love that this is kind of being trendy though on social media. People are talking about this. I've seen so many creators make videos talking about what their CTA is in a brief, or I've had this happen too. I saw a creator talk about how she was offered a campaign. She accepted it. They said, just talk about your experience naturally, why you like the product. And she sent in the video for approval. They came back and corrected her and said, actually, we need you to say X, Y, and Z, lines A through E, whatever. That's not me being myself. That's not me being authentic. That's not me telling you my true experience with the product. You're giving me lines like we're in a movie, like it's a script. Viewers do not want to see that.
Yeah.
I know immediately, even before I did this full time, I'd watch something and I'm like, that ad is so scripted. Like, I don't believe a word that bitch is saying.
Exactly. It just feels very inauthentic and performative.
Yes, it's very frustrating. I worked with a brand not too long ago, and it was a story set, and it was for a company that I genuinely love and use. And I feel very lucky to be in that point in my career where I can be picky about who I work with. But when I really believe in the product, I'll do it. They were so specific about the brief. I posted it, and then all of a sudden my entire feed is this exact ad with like 100 different influencers. Same brief, same lines, same stories. And then they emailed my team a week later like, hey, like the performance of it was a little bit low. Like there weren't as many link clicks as we expected. Right. Correct, because 100 other influencers did the same ad, said the same thing. How are they going to choose which link to click?
Right.
They're all the same, and it's the same discount code. It's not authentic at all. But that affects the brand's success and how many people are going to be purchasing.
And nowadays, which is amazing how far we've come. Like, the power is really in the consumer's hands. Like, we are so privy to information, and we're way more educated now, right? And we have so many options. Yes, the industry is super saturated, the beauty industry, but the perk of that is that we can choose where we want to spend our dollar, right? And when we find that these bigger companies, you know, it doesn't even have to be a big company. If a company steers us the wrong way and just leaves a bad taste in our mouth after we've given them our trust, bought their product, chose to support them, because that is a choice. You can choose who you want to support, what brand you want to put money in, you know, in whose pocket. If that trust is betrayed, I'm not going back there.
Yeah.
You know? And here's the thing. I always tell like brands, obviously their goal, they want to get an ROI, they want to get a return on their investment.
Yep.
Of course, it's a business. I get it. But I tell them, I said, listen, my goal and my content when I partner with you is not to sell the product. It's to instill education and trust with the consumer, with your brand. So for example, this is like it was a little while ago, this primer that I had to, I partnered with to promote. And I forget what I had. It was like a strawberry primer or something. It had like acai seeds. I don't know. It was God's gift to earth, apparently. And I did like the primer, and I liked that it had an active ingredient. That's what I resonated with. But they were so set on me talking about, they wanted me to reshoot talking about these acai seeds or pomegranate seeds. I don't know. I said, listen, and I had a call with this billion-dollar company, okay, with the owners, the founders of it, and I said, listen, no one gives an F about these pomegranate seeds. No one is walking past your gondola at Sephora and saying, oh, that's expensive. Oh, but you know, I got those pomegranate seeds. Got to get 2 of them.
Yeah, let me swipe that card.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
So no one cares about that. Does it work? Okay. They want to see results. And guess what? If they're not ready to buy now, when they are in the market to purchase a primer, they're going to feel comfortable, confident, and educated about your product, and they will go and buy yours, even if that does not mean right now. I don't want to make them feel like they have to go buy it right now, but when they are ready to, they will.
And what'd they say?
They allowed me to post it, and it did really well. It did amazing. Yeah, I don't know what the numbers were, if they got to reach. I don't care about the numbers after I partner. That's not my goal. I'm not a salesperson in that regard, you know?
Yeah, and also, consumers don't want to hear the nitty gritty. Again, they want to see results. They want to watch you put it on your face and see why it's worth the money.
Right.
You know, they don't care about acai BS, whatever, whatever they were talking about.
There's so many claims nowadays. I can't keep it. Just does it work? Does it work? Does it fit my budget? Does it work? Do I support the brand?
Yep.
And do I need it?
Yeah, totally.
Do I need it?
Did you see it a facelift?
I did, yeah.
Wait, I want to talk about that.
Sure. I feel like I've been talking a lot about it, which is funny because I'm like, I was never planning on talking about it. And then I'm like, that's the only thing I want to talk about.
Well,
now.
You look insane.
Thank you.
So I want to talk about it.
Sure, let's do it.
When did you get it?
About 4 months ago, I'd say.
You look so good for 4 months post-op.
Thank you. It was, I got back to work a week after. So actually, I shot a campaign for One Size, literally like, I think a week and a half or 2 weeks after my facelift. Looking back on it, I look crazy. I don't know why my management let me leave the house. I'm kidding. But it was, yeah. So if you want to see me like 2 weeks after a facelift, go check that out. I was back to work and I felt great. Looked a little crazy. Swelling just started going down a couple weeks ago.
A very dear friend of mine just got a facelift, and then she got her nose redone, so they did it at the same time, and then she did an upper and lower bleph. She looks so good, like a week post-op. She just got her drains out, and I was like, wow, like add this to the list in like 20 years. It's the little bit of
swelling that looks kind of good afterwards.
It is. Okay, plump.
That's like the honeymoon phase.
Okay, plump. Oh my God, looks so good.
Question, can I ask you, because I want to pick your brain about this.
No, tell me.
All right, so my whole thing, right, the reason I never intended on talking about it, I've never talked about plastic surgery, is because in my situation, I'm promoting, you know, techniques and products to encourage people to feel more beautiful and look more beautiful, so to speak. I just didn't want plastic surgery to be my storyline and to just send the message to people who are so impressionable, especially younger people who follow me, that, hey, to look or feel beautiful, you got to go underneath the scalpel. So did you ever feel that way? And did you ever feel a responsibility to talk about it? What made you decide that you wanted to be open about it?
Since I started on social media a very long time ago, I always was very authentic. Sometimes a little bit too honest, to the point where people would be mad at me or would get me in trouble or whatever, call me fake. I felt like if I wasn't open about it,
Mm-hmm.
then people would accuse me of lying, or I felt like I was lying to my audience. I also am very body positivity, and when I first got really big on social media, I was 6 months postpartum with my daughter. I was still breastfeeding. I was the heaviest I've ever been. I was a working mom, and I talked about those real struggles that I've had. And I talked about how, the two things that really made me insecure my whole life were first my nose. Girls made fun of me in high school, and so I just felt like at every angle, unless I was looking at you head on, my nose really bothered me. But until I grew on social media, I didn't have the financial ability to get a nose job. But when I first started growing online, I'm constantly editing myself, and it's like all I'm doing is looking at my nose. And I'm like, it bothers me so much. And yes, I think it's important to talk about how you don't need surgery to be beautiful and be confident. And in no way did I think I was ugly, but it was something that I did for me to help me. And yes, I promote beauty products and I love to do makeup tutorials, but that was something that deep down made me feel more confident. And I feel like being open and talking about it, my audience respected me for it. And I've had a lot of people say, like, you encouraged me to finally do what I've always wanted to do. And then, like, with my boobs, I was like a very busty woman since I was very young. And then I breastfed my first baby for 10 months, my second baby for 14 months. And so I just had super, super saggy boobs. I was like, I couldn't button a shirt. I didn't even want to wear a tank top because I had really saggy cleavage, and it really just like ate at me. And I was like, you know what? I've sacrificed my body for my children. I breastfed for a very long time. This is something I want to do for me. And I knew that diet and exercise weren't going to help me. And so I vlogged my whole journey, and I feel like it helped so many women realize you just need to do it for you because you deserve to do it for you. And there's some things that just cannot be changed unless you get it surgically done. That doesn't mean you have to, but if it helps you and makes you feel more confident, I always tell my audience, like, hell yeah, do it. I didn't need to get a boob lift. I didn't need to get a nose job, but it made me feel so much better about myself. I think the only people that got upset with me were people that have a really hard time when you grow online and you're able to like really change your life. When they followed me as a nurse and they felt I was more relatable, which I understand, but I also was able to grow a different career and support my family and spend more time with my kids and provide more opportunities for myself and my family. I think anyone would take that if they had the option to. I feel like people will be mad either way. But I always, even if it gives me hate, I always compare it to the Kardashians. I feel like people get really upset when they can see the drastic changes in their body, but they will not talk about plastic surgery, and so they get eaten alive for that. But then there's the other side, is if you do talk about the work you've had done, then you're called fake. I would rather be called fake but be honest all day long over coming back on the internet with a completely new nose and pretending like I did not have surgery on my nose. You know?
Yeah. And I think that's why you have such a loyal community and a community that loves you.
Yeah.
You know? It's because they trust you and they relate to you too. To the other point you're making about people who kind of maybe hate on the choices that you've made for yourself, I think I've never been in a relationship, but I'd imagine it's like if you entered into a relationship with a person and that person is having a glow up and you're like, oh, I feel a little insecure now, or, oh gosh, they're moving on without me. People are noticing them more. People probably feel that way. And they probably feel like, I don't know, you're outgrowing them. But in a way, it's like you're not outgrowing them. You're not going anywhere. You just want to look like the best version of and feel like the best version of yourself for them.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I also had made decisions to, get the facelift, just because, girl, I was tired. I mean, you know how it is to have kids. And I had it easy. My work only started after she was born, but it was, I was tired and I looked tired and I lost over 100 pounds.
Wow.
So that does a number, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's amazing.
And so I just looked in the mirror. I'm just like, I look tired. I don't want to get a facelift to look younger. I'm only 33. How young do I want to look? Younger than my daughter? No, but I just want to feel and look rested.
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like I have all this energy. I'm so happy, and it's the best time of my life. And then people close to me be like, Spence, you look tired. I am tired. I've been up all night, and then I have work meetings at 6 a.m. and Celine won't sleep or she's sick or yada, yada, yada. But that's not what I wanted. That's not how I wanted to present myself.
I also, two things to that. First of all, with a massive weight loss like that, from a medical perspective, a lot of people will need skin removal surgery, or it's like with me, I will forever have loose skin unless I chose to get a tummy tuck, which I don't think I will, because I'm okay with my loose skin, because I was 211 pounds when I gave birth. I had a huge tummy. So my body went through changes. It's the same when you have that much weight loss, your skin is sagging. It's tired. It was stretched, and now you've lost weight. So you have this extra skin that you're not filling out anymore. You're, again, like you said, you're in the best time of your life. And that's what my husband and I always said, like, we're young, we're thriving. Why, if I have the option, am I choosing to be insecure about something that's bothered me for 15 years?
Right.
I'm going to go fix it.
You know what? Most people would do the same if they could. Okay. And anyone who says that they wouldn't, they're lying, or they're not in a situation where they could. Okay. I love you, Mama, but I'm going to put you on blast right now. Okay.
Sorry, Mama.
She goes, Spence, you don't need to do this. Yeah. She was very anti, because what she had known of facelifts is like kind of what they used to really be, where you look windblown.
Yep.
There's a lot of tension on the skin. Now they go, deep down to this mass and deep tissue. Anyway, okay, that's another episode for another time. But the point is that, Mom, I'm like, it's going to be natural. And she goes, I would never. Just be happy with yourself. I said, Mom, if I wrote you a check right now, you cannot tell me that you wouldn't take it and send it to the first person you see with a PhD. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I know you would get a facelift if you could, if you wanted to. And she agreed, and then she picked me up from surgery on surgery day.
Period.
She was like,
Mom was there?
Yeah, she was. She was there. She came to town. She helped me with Celine, and she picked me up, and she goes, Spencer, I told you, because I looked crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, my eyes were, because I also had the brow lift and the neck lift and everything.
Yeah.
And my face was crazy.
You don't even have an incision, Mark.
I have he hit it behind the hairline and here, and then... With guys, it's different because they go inside the ear and around the ear, and then they pull the skin back a little bit. But my beard line was like in my ear, so now they have to laser remove some of it.
Removal, yeah. You're a global brand ambassador for One Size. Congratulations!
Thank you.
I love Patrick, and I love that brand.
Me too. I love everything they stand for.
Yes.
And I love where they're going. Like, it's not often where there's a brand who I like truly appreciate in terms of their past, their present, and where they're going. When I became privy to the products that they're releasing for the rest of the year and a couple quarters next year, I was like, I have to be a part of this brand. I have to. And you can see for the last few months, they just been knocking out banger after banger. I mean,
their bronzing setting spray,
life-changing, right?
No, I literally bought 2 bottles to restock because my husband and I are taking a tropical vacation for our 10-year wedding anniversary, and I'm like,
it's legit
all over my chest, my face. I was scared shitless, by the way, when I got it, because I was like, what is this gonna make me orange?
Yeah.
I already use the One Size setting spray, as we all do.
Yeah.
It's probably top 5 product I've used in 5 years.
That's amazing.
Genuinely, I would say
That's
that.
Amazing.
And I go, I'm blessed to be on PR, but I literally, Patrick, my ass was in Sephora at the Commons restocking it because I needed more. It's so good.
It's so good, and it doesn't transfer.
No.
And
I love it. You can use it on your body too. I love Body Glow.
Yes. And you know what I've been doing with that I love is I just use a little bit of cream blush, red cream blush.
Okay.
Just to give that sunburnt look a little bit on my cheeks, across the nose, and then I use that on top. And literally nothing else on the market will make you look like you just stepped off a beach, like a damn mermaid, excuse my language. You will look literally like you just got back from vacation. It's that little bit of red cream blush. They actually have one that they just released, a limited edition, which is fantastic, but use whatever, you can use red lipstick for all I carry. It's really, just dab it on, and that will give you the sunburnt, sun-kissed look, and then that bronzing spray, chef's kiss.
I'm using that on my vacation immediately.
Yeah, it's life-changing.
Yeah, I love him, and every event that I see him at, he's just the sweetest, and he always has brothers with him, and just like such a big family guy.
Very, very,
very kind.
And he hustles. He's a hard worker.
No one can deny his work ethic. It's crazy.
It's really admirable, and I'm really proud to be a part of that brand because it's a brand that I've been with since the very beginning, and it's the only brand, and I mentioned this because we were talking about it a bit ago, about brands who really push their luck with those creative briefs. One Size is the only brand, first of all, the first brand I ever worked with, the very first that ever sponsored my content and made me feel seen as an artist.
I love that.
But two, the only brand who said, Spencer, we're not going to give you a creative brief on this. Do whatever you want. We trust you. Not just that, but it was actually to promote their foundation when they launched it. I said, listen, I need to be honest. I didn't care for the first foundation you had ever launched. It was like a BB cream or something they no longer sell it, but it was back in the day. And I said, I need to call you out for that in my content because I loved the new formula, the foundation. They said, do it. We trust you.
See, that's a brand I would immediately get behind.
Exactly. I'm like, they're not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. They're not trying to be sneaky with some buzzwords and all that. They're like, listen, just talk about what you feel comfortable with. Talk about what you like, what you don't like. And they never have anything to say when I send in the content for approval.
That's amazing.
So I just post it.
As a global brand ambassador, what are your roles?
Well, it's to support with launches that they have coming up and also past product, but really to reinforce the educational aspect of using their products and posting content and tutorials. And they just released, they just released their ultimate color corrector sticks. They're stains, and they're incredible. Okay. They're incredible. So I just filmed a whole tutorial for that.
Okay.
And this proves the genius behind the brand. Like when they want me to create content, talking about a color correcting product, first of all, they're not looking for me to, conduct this application on someone who's 2.5 minutes old. Of course, a young model is not going to have much color correcting to do. So they're like, we're going to use everyday people, but use people who have these concerns, who have hyperpigmentation and darkness around the eyes. And let's prove to the consumer how and why this works. But also the product is nothing like what we've seen before. They have a really interesting way, let me tell you, of being able to marry products that are consumer friendly, but also performative and performance grade, like professional grade, I should say, for artists.
I agree.
And there's not a lot of brands who have been able to do that. Makeup Forever has done a nice job over the years, but One Size, I feel like, is the only brand who's done it and done it well and from the beginning. So these stains, if you haven't received them yet, I think they're going to be launching it here shortly.
Okay.
Try it out because they're really good. They they go on like a cream. They're super opaque.
Okay.
But also they almost work like a stain where they don't move. And there's they're budge proof, transfer proof for up to 12 hours. But you literally cannot move the product. And that's really useful because to get into the technical side of things, color correcting can be very intimidating.
It moves because a lot of cream products, once you start blending some other products layering on top, that shit's gone.
Exactly. Or they all blend together.
Yes,
it's what was the point of this?
It's not working.
Yeah. And so what makeup artists do to prevent that is they set it with a little bit of powder. So you put the color correcting cream on, and then you set it with powder, and then you put a liquid or a liquid foundation or concealer on top of that. And that's where things get very scary for an everyday person. Like, oh my gosh, I'm putting powder and then a liquid on top. I give up. I'm not doing this. What they've been able to do with this formula, it being like a stain, you don't have to set it with powder. You give it 2 minutes to dry down. It's not moving nowhere. So you never have to use a powder. You just go right on top with your concealer. It will not mix in at all. At all. That. You have my word. And that's it's just, I just love everything they do. I'm just proud to be a part of that brand.
I love that. Well, it's a huge deal. You should be very proud of that.
It's a dream come true. It's what I've always wanted. Most people would probably at this stage want their own makeup brand. I wanted to represent, I wanted to support a brand. And
My vow renewal's coming up.
Okay.
So what are 3...
Yes, I'll do your glam for it.
Okay, period. You're hired.
Let's just jump right to it, of course.
What are 3 non-negotiable products you would say I have to include when my vow renewal is coming up for glam?
Okay. What do you love most? What's your favorite feature about your face?
Oh. I don't know about my face. For me, when I do my glam, I like to be very dewy, bronzy. I love a good nose highlight to accentuate my fake nose.
Okay.
I guess I like my jawline. I'm like, I don't really know.
We love a confident queen. I mean, you have such a gorgeous face.
Oh, thank you. It's the nose job. I'm telling you, it changed my life.
Okay, I'm going to call my doctor and be like, sharpen the scalpel after this. Okay. Tap, tap, get that anesthesia ready.
Yeah,
Let's
Dr.
go.
Starkman in Scottsdale. He did my nose. He's amazing.
Wow. So you went out to Arizona for it.
He's incredible. He only does facelifts and nose jobs. Wow. By the way, my surgeon that did my boob lift, Dr. Khan, incredible. She's so amazing. Again, paid in full. She was telling me, she was like, yeah, when you like see people online talk about like their surgeons and they're getting it for free, that's a no-no.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be doing that.
What was your question? Gosh, we could talk on and on forever. Okay, so your Valor.
3 products for my Valinol.
All right. We're going to have to catch up after this and like go out for like coffee.
Period.
Or,
I mean, we're literally neighbors. So
I know.
let's go.
You ever need eggs or tequila? Just come on knocking.
Oh, we got lots of alcohol at my house too.
Okay, so what do you need? You like to be bronze and glowy. So of course we can't go without saying the bronzing setting spray from One Size. We already confirmed. We both love that.
Love.
You know what I'm really into right now are lashes.
Oh.
But let me tell you something. I like the clusters, not the strip. I can't do a strip.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a makeup artist. I dread doing strip lashes on anyone. I don't even know how to do it on myself. Clusters, the ones that go underneath your eyes, life-changing. Yep. Okay, so there's that. And then I love a good gloss.
Ooh.
I love a good gloss.
Yeah.
Or a good powder too, because like even though you can look incredible in person, if you have a little bit of shine in flash photography,
it looks oily.
Yeah. You can never go wrong with a good powder.
I've learned that on reality television. I'm constantly being powdered.
Yeah.
And I like to look very dewy and glowy, and I'll set my T-zone, but when you're on reality television, you're sitting down in the confessionals with all the lights and stuff. Every 5 seconds, my makeup artist is powdering me. Yeah, because it can go really quickly from dewy to oily.
Real quick.
Real quick.
Yeah. And you look like,
so I feel
if you're going to be dewy, you have to be dewy in the right areas.
Yeah.
Cheekbone, down the center. That's why I don't believe in the whole T-zone thing, because like where you want the glow is actually kind of in that T-zone. Down the center of the nose is where you want glow, and the upper cheekbones. I use more of a W technique. So in the W zone is where I powder. So from the under eyes, nasolabial fold, powdered down, okay?
Yeah.
Otherwise you look sweaty, greasy, all that. Down to the chin, around the mouth, because that's where we sweat, right? It's there. If you run a mile, you're going to be sweating here, not on your upper cheekbones or down the center of the nose, and then back up to the other eye. So there's the W.
Okay, period.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes. Yeah. Okay, we like to end with rapid fire. Are you
Let's
ready?
do it. Okay.
What's the product you're always reaching for when you look or feel tired?
Eye drops. Yeah.
Same.
Lumify.
My husband's like, babe, how much you need to start doing research. We have a problem. I have it in like every purse, every bathroom. It's everywhere, because the second I feel like my eyes are red or like yellowish tinged, ugly.
Yeah, no, I'm not leaving the house.
No.
Call it quits, wrap up.
No.
We're not going to work today.
No, and I'm a contact wearer too, and I use it with my contacts. I've been fine.
Yeah.
I love Lumify. If you could glam any celebrity in the world, who would it be?
Goodness. Well, it's always been Celine Dion.
I mean, hence the name.
Yeah.
I get it now.
I've always loved Celine Dion or Diana Ross.
Ooh, Diana.
But right now, for like the last like year and a half, like my dream person I want to meet and glam is Keke Palmer.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
Oh, she's killing it.
Yeah, I love her. I love everything she needs a talk show. We need to get her on a network. Her podcast,
100%.
love it too.
I fully agree with that. She would be, because she's really good at improvising.
Great, and she can connect, kind of like you. You guys have this talent, this gift that you cannot teach. You can connect with people. That's not something you can teach. You either have it or you don't, and you both have it. We need to get you on. We need to get you on our network too.
Oh, you're so
You're gonna
nice.
You're gonna be ruling the world.
That's
the both
so
of you.
nice. Did we get that? I'm like just making sure we're recording. No, I've been obsessed with Keke, and I really want her to marry Sean Evans from Hot Ones.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Oh, I love that episode.
I love them so much.
I know,
and
they're both so sweet.
She's such a good mom and so real. I love her. Okay, what's your favorite way to unwind after a long day?
Unwind after a long day. Right now, it's just like snuggling with my daughter. Yeah, I make her out her bottle. I take her. I steam. She likes her milk steamed.
Oh, period. I know Celine's bougie.
Yeah,
I know
so
that's
I
right.
steam her milk, and give her a bath. There's just like, you get it. There's nothing like ending the day with a clean kid, you know?
They smell so yummy.
So yummy. They got all the lotions and potions on. They're in their jammies.
Yep.
And just having their bubba, their drink, and their bottle of milk. And yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah.
I love it. Every single night that I get home, I'm like, even though I worked all day and I know I'm picking up the two most exhausting things to ever happen to me, I know it's going to be a good night.
Yeah.
Like, I just go to bed feeling fulfilled every day. Okay. Fuck, marry, kill. Liquid blush, powder blush, or cream blush?
Wait, liquid, powder, or
Cream.
Cream? Okay. Cream. Fuck. Allowed to say that word?
Okay.
Excuse my language. Mom, I'm sorry. What's the other one? Marry or kill? I'm going to kill off powder because there's only so much you can do with it.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I say the F word for? F word is for liquid.
Yeah.
Kill is powder, marry cream. And I'll tell you why right now. It's because cream, you can put on the lips.
Yes.
You can put maybe on the eyes a little bit, on the
Yep.
cheeks. There's so much more you can do with it.
I think it's just like longevity.
Yeah.
So we're stuck with her.
Okay.
I would say the same thing. What's a luxury beauty product that is secretly not worth the money? Doesn't have to be brand, but like any trendy product that you think's not worth it.
Okay. I don't know. Honestly, I'm going to say a lot. Probably in the skincare world, there's a lot of moisturizers and serums that have a lot of claims. And it's specifically the ones that claim like tightening or like lifting. Okay. Let me tell you something. As someone who has every product under the sun, okay, the expensive stuff, the not so expensive stuff, the things in between, there ain't nothing like a good old scalpel, all right, and a little needle and thread, okay? So when these claims say that, it's like a facelift in a bottle.
He got a facelift. So.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm telling you right now.
I was going to ask you,
yeah,
what do you think is the key to skin prep, maybe for people on a budget?
Okay. Here's the thing, is that you don't need a lot of money at all to skin prep, I think it depends on what your concerns are and what your goals are. I think overall, less product is more, but using the right product is most important. For makeup, what I really love to do is use a cleansing balm to lightly exfoliate the skin. You don't have to get an expensive one. You can pick them up at the drugstore for cheap and cheerful. But it allows you to kind of just break down the dead skin cells sitting on top of your skin. Like if you let that, cleansing oil, sit on the skin, it'll soften the dead skin cells. And then after 5 or so minutes, you kind of wipe it off and it lightly exfoliates your skin without stripping it of its natural oils or just being too abrasive. I feel comfortable taking that technique with my clients because it's not my job to give them a full facial and exfoliate their skin and use chemicals. I'm just there to do their makeup and I don't want that responsibility. I don't care to use all these skincare products on my clients that have all these long-term benefits. I need short-term benefits, right? If something lifts and tightens and all that jazz over the span of 2 years, great, but I need something that works now. So a cleansing balm will give me immediate results and a good serum.
Yes.
Yeah, a good serum.
I feel like people are too scared to be too oily and dewy before adding makeup.
No.
But it really does help prep your skin so much, or else you're going to oxidize and be really dry and flaky before you're adding makeup.
You got to look like a rotisserie chicken, I always say, before you start makeup, because that's why you lean on powders to finish off. Yeah, totally. It's like a Bonnie and Clyde situation, right? You got to have the powders, but you got to have the moisture there to work with the powders.
True. What's a drugstore beauty product you will defend until the day you die?
I mean, right now I love the NYX brow pen.
Oh, the felt one?
Yes.
Okay.
It's really thin, and I think brow pencils in general, lip pencils and brow pencils in general are fantastic from the drugstore, and most people don't know that they're often made. There's only a small handful of manufacturers around the world that make those products. So they're often, whether they're high-end or drugstore, they're often coming from the same place. So you can never go wrong with the lip and brow pencil from the drugstore, but I really like that brow pen.
I like the L'Oreal Extensionist mascara.
L'Oreal makes fantastic mascaras.
I think that's one of the best mascaras I've ever used, easily.
What color is it, the tube?
Silver. It's like chrome, like a mirror.
Extensionist mascara.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Okay, I'm going to check it out.
So great. Are you an early riser or a night owl?
Pre-fatherhood, night owl, wake up a little bit later, but now I wake up early. I'm not a sleeper. I sleep maybe like 4 hours a night. And I've always kind of been that way though.
My husband's the same way.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could sleep 12 hours a night if I was allowed, but...
Is he a creative?
No.
No?
He's just always... He just knocks out, and then he's just up once the sun's up. It doesn't matter what time he goes to bed, but like once he sees like a glimmer of light, he's up.
Does like clap, clap, lights on?
Uh-huh. All right, last one. Sure. What's one word your best friends would use to describe you?
Crazy. Literally crazy. I mean, my friends know me best, so they know who I am.
I don't think.
And I would say I'm a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Again, I'm a creative.
I don't believe that.
I would say...
Unless you have tequila in you.
My friends are like funny. They have a good funny bone, so they would probably say crazy, but really loyal. Like if you're gonna ask them like seriously, like in a sit down Oprah style interview, how would you describe Spencer? They would say loyal. I'm very, very loyal.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed chatting with you. I am so happy that I found out we're neighbors too, because now we're going out for drinks or something.
This is just the beginning of us.
This is just the beginning, honey.
And
when the vow renewal comes up, we're experimenting.
I know that's right. You know where to find me.
I was going to say, tell everyone your handle so they can go follow you and find you.
TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. It's all at the Spencer Hedges. And do I have any other social? I don't know. What else is out there nowadays? I think that's all I use. That's all that matters. Just find me there.
I can't keep up. People are like, have you tried Substack? I said, I can barely keep up with what I got going on right now, honey.
Exactly. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to make for dinner. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, you're a joy. You were such a breath of fresh air, and I loved getting to know you more.
And vice versa. You've made me really feel comfortable and safe here, and I loved having these conversations, and I can't wait to be back if you let me back.
Thank you. Always, always, honey. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.